me, I say this justly. I went from musty to musky, and y'all can't mush me. I warn y'all hornballs, I hush puppies. The swans in the pond called my duck ugly, but now they hug me because it's lovely. They love the aroma of the world. Got the shakers and the skaters and the players and the girls. Keep the fakers and the flakers and the haters in its world. You want the Pokemon? Hey, I got ya. You want the realness? Well, I got ya. I know you're sick of them niggas, big current watch ya. Either they pimps or they max or they monsters. You want the real shit? Well, I got ya. You see my niggas here? You know we proper. You know we do it right, 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 right. You know we.
Welcome, slashers. If you are new here, my name is K-Bly, and this is Slice of Horror. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button. And while you're here, hit the thumbs up for me. Support the channel. Help us be visible. Help YouTube push us out into the algorithm. So today, I want to talk about Godfather of Harlem. Yes, I was late to the Godfather of Harlem party, okay? I just recently binged it, and I want to talk about it. Season 4 airs in April. So if you have not seen this series yet, you can go ahead and binge it now so you can be ready for season 4. You got time. Now, I want to catch up everyone who has seen it, and maybe if you're interested in seeing it. So I'm going to let you know everything you need to know to get ready for season 4 and talk about the characters of the show, the main characters of the show, so we can get to know these people heading into season 4. So if you haven't seen it and you don't mind, stick around. If you have and you need a refresher, come on, let's talk about Godfather of Harlem. We got a couple days left in Black History Month. Let's get it. So we are going to start with our main character, played by none other than Forest Whitaker himself, Bumpy Ellsworth Johnson. Okay, we start the series with Ellsworth coming home from prison. So he was gone. He did a stint. He could have got a lighter sentence, but he said, I ain't no snitch. So he was there for a while. Okay. Now, he's into that, the dope business, okay? That opiate stuff. That this was taking place in the 60s. If you have not seen the show yet, it is sort of a period piece. One of the big time crime bosses back then, he, has his legitimate businesses, but mainly known for being a big time dope dealer. Now, if we're going to know Bumpy Johnson, we got to get to know a little bit about his family, because the story not only surrounds him, but we talk about how his dealings in the drug game impact not just himself, but his friends and family as well. So he's getting out of jail. He's like, I want to take back, what's mine. I want Harlem again. Godfather of Harlem, he trying to hold on to that. Like, you're not just like, hey, the streets need me. They don't need you, Bumpy. But he's like, the streets need me. I got to get back out here in these streets. Bumpy is married to Mayme. So Mayme's holding down the fort while Bumpy was locked away. Excited for him to return, but she knows him coming back, knowing that it's going to be some illegal stuff taking place. Mayme is also, she's a pretty decent person. Now, you may not like her when we're introduced to her in the first season. It took me a while to warm up to Mayme, but she's trying to do good in the community. She has like a foundation for kids in the community. She wants to be a civil rights activist. She's, trying to help run the businesses, and she's at home raising their daughter, Margaret, while Bumpy's away. Like, she's literally holding down the fort of anything. So again, Mayme kind of might rub you the wrong way when you initially meet her in season 1, but I feel like by the time we get to season 4, we understand who she is and what she's going through, and the things that she has to deal with her husband, Bumpy Johnson, and her urging him to get out of the drug gang, which is where we kind of leave off in season 4, is her saying, you got to stop selling that stuff. You have legitimate businesses. Even she was trying to help him become more legitimate and run his businesses the correct way to save them from being in trouble. Because of his, dealings in the criminal world, he had to send her away a couple of times. Bumpy was attacked, he was shot, bullets go flying, and she started living that lifestyle. She don't want it no more. She's like, we got enough to deal with police brutality. We out here fighting for civil rights. I can't be fighting for my life and civil rights at the same time. Now, I said that she was raising the daughter Margaret while Bumpy was away. So speaking of family, we're gonna talk about Bumpy. We have to head over to the oldest daughter, Elise. Now, when we're introduced to Elise, she's strung out. You know, how ironic is that? Dad, a big time dope dealer, and she's on that stuff. He actually finds her on the streets, high as kite. But eventually, Elise gets clean. Bumpy takes her to one of his friends, which we'll talk about in a minute, to help get her cleaned up. Once Elise gets herself cleaned up, she joins the Nation of Islam, and she says, Margaret, right? Who y'all are raising as y'all's daughter. Y'all know that's my daughter. And I want her to know that. Because basically they were telling Margaret that Elise was her older sister. Mayme was very, very much against them telling her that. Which I understand, because Elise was on that stuff for pretty much her whole life. And she abandoned her daughter for Bumpy and Mayme to raise. But she did get herself together. She did get herself clean, and she wanted to be a part of her daughter's life. So eventually they tell Margaret, look, we don't want no secrets in the family. We want to come clean. Elise is not your big sister. That's actually your mom. Elise was not in a good place for a while. She was sick. Mayme and Bumpy, stepped in. Surprisingly, and thank goodness, Margaret is not one of those kids that have teen angst. She was like, okay. Basically, it's like, I have two moms, and I love that. I get all the love. All these people care about me. I'm glad they went in that direction, because y'all know me. I do not do teen angst. I didn't have time for her to be this little rebel child and be mad at all this stuff because they ain't tell her this. Like, look, you living a good life, okay? Elise clearly was not able to take care of you, but she's doing better with herself. And all these people care about you. Margaret, you safe and you well taken care of. And I'm glad we didn't have to sit with that for too long, and that they did eventually get on the same page. Bumpy was in a place at that point that he was like, no more secrets. I'm not here for it. So next up, let's get back into the crime. Chen Chante. Okay. This is my guy. If you're a Law and Order fan, you here for Vincent. Daredevil fan, come on. Let me tell you, nobody plays a villain. Nobody plays a villain. Let me tell you something. If he gonna be in it, just know he gonna be the bad guy and he's gonna play it well. So Chen is part of a crime mob crew, rather. So there's like 5 different Italian families who kind of split up territories in the drug game with, who's selling drugs and guns and all this kind of stuff. And they kind of work together with a collaborative effort. So they're kind of running the drug game while Bumpy is locked up. Bumpy gets out and is like, I want back in. Okay. Technically, Harlem is mine, and I didn't rat y'all out. Because if I did, y'all would have been in here and not me, pretty much, or we would have all been in here together. I ain't say nothing, so let me get my spot back. And of course, they ain't want to give it to him because don't nobody just want to give up where they was making money at. Chen and Bumpy have a very tumultuous partnership throughout the series. They tried to unalive each other several times unsuccessfully. They fought each other. They were at war against each other. They collaborated, fell out, fell back in, fell back out. Chen went to prison. And we'll talk about why he went to prison in just a second. And when he got back out of prison, he found that the Italians pretty much turned on him. They ain't worth the damn. And next thing you know, we're linking back up with good old Bumpy Johnson. Okay. And I kind of figured this at the beginning. I said, watch, the two that hate each other the most are going to be the best of friends. I don't know if you all seen the Wu-Tang Clan series, but I think it was Ghostface and Raekwon that like the whole first season they were trying to, you know, take each other out. And by the end of it, and still to this day, like in real life, like Raekwon and Ghostface, they're like the best of friends. And so I'm just like, watch Bumpy and Chen end up being cool after all this is over with. But if we're going to talk about Chen, we got to talk about his daughter, Stella. Stella is a piece of work. Stella is a prime example of white privilege because all the things that she's done, and the thing is, she will do some horrible stuff and then admit to it and no consequences fall upon her. Pretty much. Like she be getting off scot-free. She feels like the only thing she feels like has been happening against her is the men that she care about have been taken out for what she feels is unfair reasons. Although Stella has done herself, which the things that she's done, anybody else would have got popped real fast. Real fast. But oh no, not Stella. When we meet Stella, she's dating a black guy who is played by um, none other than Kelvin Harris. Lion King, MLK series, y'all know. Now, y'all know in the 60s that wasn't going to fly. And she comes from a racist family. So it was already a bounty on his head. So we knew Teddy wasn't going to last long. So she's already mad at her family for that. Then she hooks up with this other guy. And eventually, that's not sitting right with her family either. They take him out. That was the last straw for her. They done took two men that she cared about. She was over it. And she pretty much snitched, called the police on her dad. That's how she got arrested. And because she has white woman privilege, he wasn't even mad at her. He's just like, no, but I still care about you. You're my one and only, and I understand. And I didn't mean for him to get hurt, and blah blah blah. She was pissed though. Okay, Stella is turning out to be as maniacal as her dad. She's learning a lot from her father and the business, and the guy, the last person that she was dating, who she eventually married, was also a part of the gang. So she got it honest, okay? Stella got it honest. And now, moving right on along, my guy right here, my guy. A lot of this series is heavily focused on the friendship between Bumpy Johnson and Malcolm X. Now, if you haven't seen the show yet, I know you see there's two pictures here. The first picture, the first actor played him seasons 1 and 2. And something happened where they recasted, like a conflict schedule or something. They recast it for season 3. But I really love the portrayal of Malcolm X. I like the friendship that he had with Bumpy. I like that they gave us pieces of his life. They let us see the rapport that he had with Betty, the friendship that he had with Muhammad Ali. He helped to get Bumpy's daughter Elise clean, and they formed a friendship. We got to see how people turned on him in the Nation of Islam. We got to hear some of his, his speech skills, and so I appreciated their friendship. Now, spoiler alert, we know what's inevitable for him. We get that in season 3. So Malcolm ain't gonna be in season 4. They got your boy right there at the end of season 3. But there was a good story here. So I'm wondering what are we gonna do to fill up that space? Because a good bit of Godfather of Harlem, we followed Malcolm X and his story, kind of dealing with being kicked out of the Nation of Islam, being wanted by the FBI and the CIA and the Nation of Islam. Like everybody was on his neck. Okay. And Bumpy tried his hardest to protect him. And Malcolm was like, I know I ain't gonna live long. Okay. I'll be out here talking real reckless. I know it's people out here trying to get me. His whole thing was, I'm gonna say what I got to say before I get up out of here. Let me say everything I need to say, and then y'all come in here and do what y'all gotta do. But I'm gonna speak my piece. Okay. And he said, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna speak my piece. And he was always kind, always caring for the people. But was he stubborn? Yes. Because he knew them people was after him. And he still kept saying, well, I gotta go out here and say what I need to say. I gotta go walk the walk and talk the talk and, hold it down for my people. And of course, we know what happened, but that is played out in the series. So while your boy Chen was locked up, in comes Columbo. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen this actor before. I remember him from True Blood, and he was also in The Walking Dead. So when I seen him, I said, this one gonna be a problem right here. Lo and behold, what do we get? A problem. He makes a good villain as well. So with Chen gone, he's like, okay, let me kind of come up in here. And he was actually protecting Stella for a little while because basically Chen's wife, Stella's stepmom, put a hit out on her. And Chen wanted her to be protected. Now, Columbo did more than just trying to protect Stella. He's like, I want Harlem for myself. And then when you start talking like that, Chen is like, oh no, what we're not going to do is Columbo, when he got in, he meant business. When he came in, he shut down the whole operation of Bumpy trying to be out here slaying that doogie. So they call it. He said, nope, if you want it, you gotta come through me. Now, of course, Bumpy found another, just another avenue and another product. But Columbo was like, no, I took, Bumpy out of the dump, the dope game. I'm the guy. Like, I'm that guy. Harlem is gonna be mine. You can't be out here talking about Harlem is yours and you got Chen and Bumpy out here. That's not gonna fly. It's not. But let me tell you something. Columbo don't play though. Okay? He's not one of those you just sit back and play with. Just so you know. So I'm interesting to watch how this is going to play out as we got Chen and Bumpy collaborating again. But Columbo is like, I'm gonna fight for mine. Okay. I ain't scared of y'all. Pretty much. I can hold my own. Your boy Giancarlo Esposito, who is in everything, everything. In Godfather of Harlem, he is Reverend, he's a congressman. He is one of those guys that, like, I'm fighting for civil rights and power to the people, and I want to be here for the community and my black people. But he don't mind getting his hands dirty with a little corruption. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to keep a few, of my friendships out here with the hoodlums, but don't make me look bad because at the same time, I'm a politician and I need to look good out here. Got his little mega church trying to preach the word. Definitely not on the same page as Malcolm, but they kind of find some common ground. But Powell is an interesting character. He's that guy that's like, if you go to him for help, he's going to need something. And you also don't know sometimes if he's going to stab you in the back or snitch on you. So it's just like, this might be a last resort because he does have some resources in his back pocket. Okay. He's got his foot in the government. But at the same time, what are you going to have to go through to get what you need? And are you really going to get it in that manner? I love seeing Giancarlo in this role. Okay, y'all know he kills everything that he's in, and I was glad to see him in this series doing what he do best. I hope that he appears in season 4, but I love him absolutely love him in this series, doing what he do best. Last but not least, Morganthau, because if we're gonna have a show about drug dealers, we gotta have the feds in here, okay? So Morganthau is the prosecutor, and basically he knows what's going on in Harlem. He knows what Bumpy is doing, and he's basically telling Bumpy, "You a small fish. We don't want you. We want the mob. Yeah, we want the Italian family. We want them, okay? They want the whole RICO case against the other families. Like either you can work with us or against us, but we know what's going on. I see you. I'm aware. Now you gonna help us or not?" But you know, Bumpy, he said, "Hey, I ain't no snitch. I don't do that." But Morgenthau's like, but I'm gonna clock you at every step just to see, because these people mean you no good, and I'm gonna bring them down. I'm gonna bring them down. Now you may go down with them. I don't know, but I'm just letting you know. Like this, I'm letting you know I'm here. So if you need me, help me, help you. So Morganthau is around because, again, if we're going to be in the narcotics business, you're going to have a DA somewhere in here. But let me know, y'all, in the comment section, are you fans of Godfather of Harlem? Were you watching since the start? Are you excited about season 4? Again, season 4 drops in April. So I will be covering season 4. Again, y'all, sorry I'm a bit late to the party. But I'm going to be in there. All right? I'm going to be in there. We ended off with, like I said, they took out X. We got the Bumpy and Chen collaboration going on. Elise trying to rebuild some kind of rapport, friendship, relationship with Omar, who wanted to marry her, but then he tried to take out Malcolm, but now he wants to be Malcolm, in his corner. So she's dealing with that. You have Mayme, who wants Bumpy to come out of the drug business, but Bumpy's like, no, I'm just, I do want to get out, but the way things is going, because the CIA is involved. Bumpy was trying to protect Malcolm. He wasn't too happy about his passing. It's a lot happening. We got a lot to look forward to in this season 4. I hope you all watch it. If you have not seen the show, go ahead and watch it now so that season 4 we can all watch together and talk about the show together. Again, if you have not already, hit that thumbs up for me and hit subscribe button for more content. Happy Black History Month, and I will see you all in the next one.
It's maybe the night that my tears might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer. It's maybe the night that my tears might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer. It's maybe the night that my tears might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gon' do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me. You ain't know your expectations. I don't even want your congratulations. I recognize your false confidence and calculated promises all in your conversation. I hate people that feel entitled. Look at me crazy cause I ain't